With the Epic Wubbox family finally being complete for the natural islands, I think it's time for us to look into the future of Epic Wubboxes on both Gold Island and Ethereal Island. Little did we know when Epic Wubbox was releasing our initial theories behind Rare Wubbox's release dates, and Epic Wubboxes actually did turn out to be truer than what we could have imagined. Rare Wubbox initially released on both Water and Earth Island, and that turned out to be the case too for Epic Wubbox, which is absolutely insane. However, for the Gold Island and Ethereal Island Wubboxes, they are a little bit more harder to predict for. But don't fret guys, because I do think we can make some theories here regardless. Over on Gold Island, I do think our most likely situation for Gold Island Epic Wubbox to release would be inside of Anniversary Month. Anniversary Month is Gold Island's event, and Anniversary Month actually takes place next month, which is little to nowhere in terms of time. We're going to be seeing that come along really soon, and with us getting so much Epic Wubbox content right now, I feel like it would be a really nice time to slot in that next Epic Wubbox, especially seen as though Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox is likely to come much further down the line. If we take a look at all of the Epic Ethereals that we have right now, we only have 4 in-game out of the 15 that need to arrive, one being a single elemental humbug and the rest being double elementals. So there's quite a lot of Epic Ethereals left here, and if we take into consideration now there's 11 left, and we've only had 4 Epic Ethereals arrive over the last 18 months, and then combine this with, if we do the math, we've had one there for one every 4.5 months, I say that it could be up to 4 years until we see an Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox, at least at the rate that we're going at right now guys with the Epic Ethereals. Unless they speed up these releases, we could be looking at a 2026 release date, which is absolutely crazy, and I do hope that that wouldn't be the case, as that's absolutely a crazy amount of time to wait for an Epic Wubbox that we know is going to be coming. So I do hope that we see these Epic Ethereals speed up, but regardless guys, I think it's going to be quite a long wait for this one, and I do think we are going to be seeing the Gold Island one next. And to this Gold Island Epic Wubbox variant, I do want to talk about how Gold Island Epic Wubbox is going to be brought about on Gold Island, as I've seen quite a bit of confusion around this, and I do think the solution behind it is quite simple. Right now, you can't place any Epic Wubbox on Gold Island because it's not available on the island itself, but when Gold Island Epic Wubbox is revealed, I do expect that you will be able to place down any level 15 Epic Wubbox on the natural islands onto Gold Island, and that it will turn into the Gold Island variant, or rather it'll just place down as that variant. I think the solution is quite simple, but I've seen lots of confusion around it, so I did want to give my opinions on that. For the design behind the Gold Island one, I think it's got to evoke a sense of royalty. Gold Island is situated upon the feeling of grandness. Look at all of the golden ornaments, the crystals, that's the kind of thing that I really do expect out of Epic Wubbox as well. Crystals along it, jewels, all that kind of fancy royalty statuesque covered all over this Epic Wubbox design. I expect a crown, tiara, and just an overall sense of grandness to not just encapsulate the island overall, but also to encapsulate how all of these level 15 epics have been put inside of this monster. We're considering, guys, every single epic inside of the game that's a natural, so considering that, I do think it's got to be really epic and evoke that sense of grandness. I'm expecting its dormant state to be somewhat like a throne, throwing some golden ornament in there maybe too, maybe have it be some kind of castle as well made out of gold that would befit the theme, or really just a crown, just have it be a crown on the floor. Honestly, that would be so OP if they did that. That would be really unexpected as well. I would love that. But Ethereal, we're expecting, seen as though Ethereal is situated in another dimension and is supposed to be very space-like, a very space theme. We've got plasma going on, I do expect some goo maybe, and some ooze all covered over this Epic Wubbox design, and for it to have some pinks, turquoises, and maybe some purples on this design. I really do expect Ethereal Islands to be perhaps the most out there out of the Epic Wubboxes, especially seeing as though we're going to be waiting such a long time for this Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox. Now, we're going over its theories now because this is the time that the Epic Wubboxes are releasing, but I do expect, seeing as though it's going to be such a long wait as well, for it also to evoke that sense of grandness. Overall, I'm expecting really cool designs for these two, especially because of those epics that you're having to put inside of this monster and how much harder it's going to be for these two. They've got to really encapsulate how much these two are worth it, I think, inside of the game. I'm expecting alien vibes from it as well. For the dormant dormant state, I'm seeing maybe a Bubble Right statue. I like to what the Wubblins have over on Wubblin Island, making a callback to Bubble Right actually being the way in which Ethereals were formed on Ethereal Island would be a really cool concept and establish the lore further, especially seeing as though the bio is going to be different on Ethereal Island. That would give them a chance to establish a bit more lore inside of the game. With Monculus now having Bubble Right as well and making a callback upon that, establishing that even further with Epic Wubbox would be a really cool concept. I could also see some kind of alien theme to befit the island I could see coming, but a Bubble Right statue I think is the way to go for this one. I'm also seeing for these designs for the potential return for the glowing eyes. Please make it happen. Water and Earth Island Epic Wubboxers did not have glowing eyes. I didn't quite catch on it inside of my Discovery video, but after looking back at it, it's kind of weird because all of the Wubboxers have glowing eyes. So I'd really like to see these ones make a return to the glowing eyes, as that's what makes Wubbox really cool too. So bringing that back would be a really cool thing that I hope does happen with these Epic Wubbox designs. The sound. I'm expecting the same vocals as always, of course, but for gold, I'm seeing coin sounds and maybe also metal sounds. Seeing as though metal can be forged and things, they could get very experimental with that, and it would evoke the feeling of gold perhaps as well if they do it properly. I'm not sure how they could go about that, but I'm also sensing some kind of harp. The harp is a symbol of Gold Island, and up to this point, it's not really been explored. And this is probably their only chance that they're going to get to explore that concept, so I'm really hoping that perhaps the harp is embodied inside of the Epic Wubbox sound on this island. If it's not a harp, then I don't know what they're going to do, because I feel like the harp is calling to Epic Wubbox right now. Ethereal Island, in comparison to Gold, I feel like it's a lot more simpler in terms of sound. I'm seeing ET sounds, extraterrestrial, space sounds, a bit like Water Island Epic Wubbox, how it had all of those waves. I'm seeing some wave sounds appearing inside of this one, perhaps some distortion as well, just to mix that vibe into this one a bit further, rather than the water one, seeing as though that was much more sonar. Perhaps making it distorted as well would bring a lot of fan speculation into it and could turn out really cool, so that would be a really cool concept too. But what these monsters are going to look like though, don't worry, Riles is back again. The amazing Riles with these amazing designs. So over on Gold Island, they have captured the royal-esque of this monster. They have put the harp on this monster. This is the kind of action that we need right here. If this harp doesn't make it, I don't know what is making it, because that harp is the symbol of Gold Island, and if we're having a Gold Island monster, it needs a harp. I just don't see any other way around it. I love all of the horns that they've put on it, the royal ornaments, and capturing the island's design as well, and the jewelling amongst it, and capturing that with the orb specifically is a really nice concept, which would be really nice if they did do something different with the orb, as they've not really done that up to now, so maybe that could make it all the more cooler on Gold Island. And then for Ethereal, they've just gone really alien with this one. I am in love with the crystals and the overall callback to Gas Orb. That callback is just so amazing, and the eyes to capture the Colossal. Oh, it really is so cool, this one. I do expect the Ethereal one to perhaps be a bit more gooey and oozy and a bit more on the fun side to maybe differentiate it a little bit more from the island itself. But overall, I absolutely adore this design. Perhaps we could have some Bubble Right also amongst the design to differentiate a little bit more, although that would be very similar to Monculus, so we'd have to hold back a little bit on that concept, I do think, but it would be a really nice thing, I think, to embody on the designers. Definitely let me know though, guys, what you think about a Gold Island and Ethereal Island Epic Wubbox. Do you think Ethereal's going to be coming sooner than 4 years away from now, or do you think it's going to be coming sooner? Let me know down below. Also, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and to subscribe too, guys. I'll see you guys later though for now. Bye.